So second grade, on your self-tracking sheet, the green sheet that you have, this is number 3, making a still life from objects you look at. I gathered up some supplies. You can get supplies from the still life drawers, those flowers and leaves, animals, fruit, food. You can choose what you want. I have also some cans at school if you want to do it like I'm going to, but I found a tin can. I also gathered up a few art supplies that I'm going to put in the can in a moment, but I want you to see that I'm gathering them up first, and then I'm going to display them in my can. So I will put these in here strategically however I want. Oops, I guess I'm probably going to draw with my pencil, huh? You could put a pencil in there. You just need to have, actually I'm rethinking the green because there's green scissors, and so I'm thinking how to get a different color of marker. I'll be right back. All right, that's better. Since I already had something green, I didn't want to have 2 things that were green. So I grabbed a blue marker instead of the green marker. I'm going to display these in the cup or the tin can, and I'm going to put them in an order that I kind of like how they look. Okay, so I'm going to decide how I want them, and then I'm going to have to leave them alone and then draw them. So I'm going to be looking at them more from the side, not from the top like the camera is probably showing you down into the cup. I'm going to set it up here out of the way, so I have some room to draw on my paper. But that's what you're going to do, is you're going to arrange the objects in a pleasing way, because you need to kind of remember exactly how they are in case you don't get it done before it's time to clean up, and you can arrange them that way again. Now, when I start to draw this picture, I am looking at it with my eyes and really looking at it, not just talking to other people. I need to concentrate. So the front of the can, we're going to draw it like a cylinder. And so it's going to be the curve of this edge. So I'm looking at this edge along the cup, and it curves back around. The marker is coming out of the can at an angle over here on the side. So that's going to end up going into the cup and down where I'm not going to be able to see it anymore. I can see the angle of the marker coming out of the cup. So I need to kind of draw light till I get it right. I'm not pressing real hard in case I need to erase, which I may. And then I'm going to draw the outside curve of the marker. The lid comes in a little bit. And then I can also see the blue lid where it stops, and I can see the white part of the marker going into the cup, okay? So that's the first part I want to draw, because I'm not going to draw all the way around the back edge of the cup yet. I can't see the whole back edge. I can see instead like the marker in front of part of the edge. Let's do the side of the cup too, because I'd probably need to cover that. The side of the cup is going to come down. It's a little bit rigid, so I'm going to draw a couple of ridges. My can has a lot of ridges in it. I'm really not going to draw all of those, but I'm going to draw several. Oops, that one was a little big. So again, I'm drawing light till I get it right. And then I have to do that on the other side because it's matching and it's parallel, so it's not going to be different on the other side of the can. And I need to come down about the same length. And then I need to put my ridges in. And I'm checking the can again, checking my drawing again. Need to kind of go a little bit further, and then there's sort of like a flat spot again at the bottom. And then it curves around the bottom so that it looks like it's rounded. If you just did it straight across, like a lot of you probably would until you had this lesson, it's not going to look as 3D. It's not going to look as round. If you actually round this line just slightly, it's starting to look like, yeah, that's a can that looks like it is rounded. And I will go in and put a few of my ridges in here. And again, I'm not making them completely flat. I'm curving them just a little bit so it looks more like the can, okay? All right, then let's go to this side, because I have the paintbrush on this edge, and the handle where the little spongy soft part is kind of coming out over here. That looks a little too wide, so let's move that in a little bit. And again, what you can probably see on the camera is more of it than I can, but it's the angle that I'm sitting at. I'm drawing what I can see, not what the camera can see. So the little gold metal piece has 2 little sections up here that I can see, and then it has the smooth, straight part. Okay, so that's kind of how I did my brush. My Sharpie is leaning up against that, so it's kind of partly hiding behind the brush and partly sticking out. So you have to kind of think about, where's the edge of the Sharpie start? What do I see? What do I not see? And only draw the part that I do see. And this comes down, the lid comes down almost as far as the little part there that I drew on the paintbrush. So I kind of use that as my measuring guide. And I can see just a little bit of the edge that would hook on. Then the scissors are actually kind of partially behind the paintbrush. So my scissor handle, the first one anyway, is about right in here. And then they kind of come down to about, this angles down about where the middle of the can would be. So I'm about in the right spot, it looks like. And then it curves back up and disappears behind the marker again. There's a circle in there. So you can see I'm really taking my time. I'm not getting in a hurry to draw. I'm checking it before I go on, one little part at a time. The back side of the scissors, where all my fingers would fit in, instead of where my thumb goes in that hole, is a bit taller than this side. So I need to make sure when I'm drawing this is up higher than the other side, or it won't look the way that it does up here on my paper. Okay, and then it comes down right even with that. And then the scissor blades kind of disappear down into the can. Okay, now I have the colored pencil left, and that is coming out from behind the marker, but kind of right where the scissors stop. So I'm going to kind of angle it. It's not straight up and down, and it's a little bit taller than this part of the scissors, but not as tall as that part, so I don't want to go too far up. And then it comes back down behind the blue marker and disappears. Okay, my table has a little bump in it right here, so that wasn't very straight, but I'll try to go back and fix that a little bit. Okay, now the edge of the rest of my can is kind of bending around into the back across here. So it looks like when you're looking at this, the can is 3D. Okay, now I will outline this. I will probably even add, like it's sitting on my art table at my house. So I'm gonna add the table here in the background. So that looks like the back side of the table. The front of the table would be up here somewhere down off the paper already. All right, I just finished tracing, and now I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. Even though I just finished tracing, I can still see a few of my pencil lines where I kind of got off a little bit. So I will take the eraser, and I go back and kind of erase off any pencil lines I can still kind of see coming through that I may have just gotten off the line a little bit, and just kind of clean this up. All right, now I'm ready to color, and you can choose out of the drawing center what you want to color with. You can use colored pencils if you want to. In fact, I may even just go ahead and use the orange from my colored pencil that was in the cup to do this one. But I will go ahead and choose what I want to color with, and I will finish this up and show you the end result. Now I'm going to speed this up a little bit because you really don't need to watch me color every single part of this can. But what I'm doing is I am shading dark against the two edges of the outer sides, and I'm kind of shading them at an angle towards the middle, so it still gives it a rounded look. I'm going in and I'm doing a lighter shade as I get towards the center. I'm doing medium right now, and then I'm lighter again. What you can't tell is my hand is not pressing as hard. When I'm pressing harder, I'm getting a darker color. And I'm going back and layering on another layer here because it wasn't quite dark enough for me. You can always go back and add on some more if you don't press too hard the first time. So that's why I'm doing that, is I felt like it needed to be a little bit darker yet. So I went in, put another layer on top, tried to keep the center more light so that it would look more 3D again. So as I finish this up, notice that I also use the same color inside of the can so that it matches the outside of the can. I'm trying to make sure I have it light in the center down through the front and darker along the outer edges. So again, this is more about looking closely at your work, arranging your objects thoughtfully, drawing what you see. I'm choosing a color for my table here. I wasn't sure if I liked that brown, so I decided to flip my paper over and test them on the back, and I chose which one I liked best. I decided to do my table brown, like the tables that we have at school. Now, one thing I need to consider before I color the background is what color have I not used yet. I don't want to pick a color like orange that I've already used, where this will just blend in and make that pencil kind of disappear. I want to think about, have I used red? Yes. Have I used orange? Yes. Have I used yellow? A little bit, but not really. I kind of blended two colors together. So yellow might be a possibility. Green, yes. Blue, yes. Purple? No, I have not used purple. Pink? No, I haven't used pink. I could do pink, purple, yellow. So I could think of several colors that I haven't used on here, and then really it's up to you to choose what you like and what you want to use and then color it in. Here's my completed still life art. Remember, this is all about looking closely and arranging your objects thoughtfully. I didn't want the same colors on all my objects, or that's not really going to be that great to look at if they're all the same color. Plus, it creates variety. So I had a red, I had a green, I had an orange, I had a blue, I had a black. I picked 5 objects. You can pick 5, you can pick 4, you can pick 6, you can pick more. But I do want you to have a group of objects, and one thing, that's not going to be a group. So I would say pick 4 or more objects, arrange them thoughtfully in your space. It could be a cup, it could just be sitting on the table, and then draw what you see, not what you think you see. Look at it closely and draw just what you see. I was studying the can very carefully before I was drawing on my paper and trying to explain to you what I was looking at as I drew. Have fun making a still life.